Yo, what is up guys? It's your boy Stormer YT here, aka E-Man, back again with another video. Today's video, we got a little bit of change of a scenery. I'm here in my room. Got a couple little LED lights in the back. Putting it white just so I can have better lighting. The lighting in my room is not the best. But anyways guys, before I start the video, I just want to let you guys know that I am not in no way, shape, or form a licensed therapist. Everything is unlicensed. It's just from personal advice. You can either take it or leave it. And if you do end up taking it, hopefully you guys can apply it in your life. And if you do, go ahead and leave it down in the comments down below, okay? So I'm going to be giving you guys 5 tips that I feel are going to help you out a lot when it comes to struggling with anxiety, dealing with anxiety, coping with anxiety, right? Because I'm a person who's actually dealt with it and still currently deal with it. I think I can speak for most of us when, you know, pretty much every human being has suffered from some form of anxiety, whether it's performance anxiety, approach anxiety, like when you're approaching a girl, like, you know, just little things here and there, anxiety because you might think you don't live up to standards for your parents, society, whatever the case may be, right? So tip number 1, if you see me reading off to the side, it's because I'm looking at my notes. I got my computer over here on the side. So tip number 1 is definitely keep a healthy sleeping schedule, guys. Sleeping is extremely essential. If you don't get, you know, proper sleep, you can get things like headaches, fatigue, sleepiness, trouble concentrating, and irritability, right? A lack of sleep causes an internal imbalance that works like a negative domino effect. Pretty much sleeping is the most important thing when it comes to, you know, keeping homeostasis, keeping balance within your, you know, within your body and stuff like that. So a lack of sleep could be a very, very you know, primary cause as to why you have severe anxiety. Right, so definitely get your sleep in, guys. It's you know, highly recommended by pretty much any, if you go like online and you just search up how to deal with anxiety, you're gonna see that for the most part, right? So if you see it a lot, it's because, you know, it's definitely extremely important. So tip number 2 is avoid any drugs, alcohol, nicotine, or caffeine. So pretty much anything that your body doesn't naturally produce, I highly recommend that you get away from it. Things like nicotine, you know, the shortness of breath. When you smoke and you get that shortness of breath, I don't know, it's just something about nicotine that it just accelerates your heartbeat. Dasha! Anyways, guys, so yeah, pretty much anything that your body doesn't naturally produce, I highly recommend that you get away from it. Things like, you know, nicotine are extremely bad for you. Well, pretty much everything that I just listed are extremely bad for you. Caffeine, it's not really a big problem. Just take it in moderation. If I'm not mistaken, your daily intake should be no more than 400 milligrams. If I'm not mistaken, it's 400 milligrams of caffeine. I try my best to keep it at 200 milligrams, which is the equivalent of like 2 cups of coffee, but I don't really drink coffee that much. What I do is I drink a lot of Celsius, which is a very good, you know, energy drink. It has like no sugar, right? I mean, we don't know, but in my opinion, I don't really crash. The caffeine's really good. It helps me, you know, crush those workouts and stuff like that. So yeah, if you do want to, you know, take a pre-workout, or if you do want to substitute, you know, coffee and stuff like that, just to get that caffeine boost, I recommend getting that Celsius. All right. Tip number 3, this is something that I just recently started. I suggest that you start journaling. You know, you could talk about how your day was. You can talk about how you felt when the anxiety kicked in. And you could also journal about what you think may have triggered it, right? So what I like to do is I like to journal throughout midday, and I like to journal about my thoughts, how I process things, how I react to things, why do I feel the anxiety that I feel, what can I do to change it, you know, and stuff like that. So rolling over to tip number 4 is meditation. Meditation is extremely important. Helps you stay grounded. It helps you stay in the present moment, and it also prevents you, it doesn't prevent you, but it helps with not focusing on like the past and the future, right? Rather than just staying in the present, enjoying the time that you have right now, because that's the only time that should matter, right? Whatever's past is already gone. Whatever's in the future hasn't occurred yet, right? So it's extremely important, because when you think about the past and the future, you worry about, you know, like, what if I don't amount to this, or look at everybody else, and you start comparing yourself. You're like, wow, everybody else is already ahead of me. Like, don't focus on any of that. Focus on yourself. Focus on where you are in life right now, and try to reverse engineer your goals, right? If your goal is to become, let's say for example, a YouTuber, right? You tell yourself, what can I do? Well, I can start uploading more. I can start getting better lighting. I can start getting better equipment. How do I get better equipment? I have to get a job. How do I get a job? There's Indeed. You apply on Indeed. You look for a job on Indeed. You apply. There you go. Resume. You gotta build your resume. There's websites for resumes. You get me? Like there's ways of doing it. It's just a matter of putting your mind to it and sticking to it, right? So tip number 5 is when the anxiety kicks in. Now this is my own personal tip. Most of these tips have come from like, online sources and stuff like that, but this one is something that I apply myself, and it's something that I genuinely recommend. Is when the anxiety when the anxiety kicks in, you should slow down your breathing. Your mind and your body are connected, right? If you can slow your heart rate down, you will be able to control the anxiety a lot more. Try to keep an open body language. A closed body language might tell your brain subconsciously that you are in defense mode, which could trigger the fight or flight mode, hence why you might feel some form of anxiety. So I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but it happened to me when the more you closed in you feel, the more like you feel like the world is against you, right? Like you feel like you're like in defense. I have to protect my heart, I have to protect my body. When you do that, you're subconsciously telling yourself, hey, it's me against everybody else. When you're in open body language, you say, hey, this is me, this is who I am. You can either take it or leave it. I'm gonna take the space because I know who I am. I'm grounded in who I am, right? So I definitely recommend, stretch, keep an open body. When you're sitting down, take space, right? Just take space, because if you feel like this, you're gonna always feel like everyone's against you, and it's gonna increase your heart rate. And that increase of heart rate, shortens the amount of time you have to take in deep breaths. And if you don't take those deep breaths in, you're gonna feel very, all over the place. And then that's when the anxiety kicks in, and it's a mess, and we don't want that, right? So definitely recommend taking very deep breaths in and out. I say take maybe 3 seconds breathing in, 3 seconds breathing out, right? So I'll hit the, wait a little bit, and then exhale just like that. Look, I'm already feeling good, right? I'm telling you guys, I highly recommend it. Take those deep breaths in, deep breaths out, and I think it'll work out, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys found any of these advice helpful, go ahead and leave it down in the comments below. It's been your boy E-Man. Peace, guys.